Welcome back, guys. Welcome to Football Digest KE, where we just eat, sleep football, and then repeat. I'm joined by Webbie, who I could almost call him our correspondent now. I've been talking to him for a minute. So we shall dissect or digest, rather, game week 30 that just happened. Of course, the first game week after the return of the Premier League, and then, of course, we do a little digging into game week 31 in inaanza leo. So, Webbie, ni aje, bro?
Yes. Niko salama?
How are you holding up?
I'm fine. It's good to be back.
It is.
Football season is back at least.
Yeah. I was to be joined by another guy, a Man United fan, and Webbie and Vin. I think I may joining us. So we shall digest the game week na Vincent, Vini, ni aje, bro?
Hey, vipi Nyash.
So, Webbie, tuanzie saa to maze. Hata sitaki kuongea juu ya Man City saa to.
Hey.
Give me your thoughts.
That game exposed a lot of problems. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of rebuilding to do. You know, an interesting stat that came up was that in 2014, we had at least half a dozen of our midfielders score at least 2 goals each.
How many goals?
2 each. Ramsey scored 10. Ozil scored 5. I think Arteta scored 2. Rosicki scored 2. Wilshere scored 2. So you can see we had nearly 2 dozen goals from midfield. This season, we only have 1 goal from midfield.
1?
Yes, and that's very disturbing.
Okay.
So that shows you where our problems are. Our midfield is not able to defend. It's not able to create. Ozil is not assisting. Ceballos is not assisting. You know, Granit Xhaka is more of a passer, and he rediscovered his form in the second half of the season. So clearly, there is a lot of work to be done, and we need to start that rebuilding, especially in central defense and in midfield. Forget the attack. Those 2 areas. Yeah.
Wow. Because I'm going nuts. Let me ask Vin about his thoughts on our game. Vin, uliona your game yet?
Yeah, niliona.
What did you take of it? Combining with Wednesday, what did you take of it? What did you take from it?
Arsenal did not learn their lessons from the Man City beating. They did not learn their lessons. And one thing Arsenal wasn't on that day was ruthless. They were not ruthless, they were not clinical. Because the chances zenye mulikuwa nazo, first half, you should have finished that game before you break. Because actually Brighton were hanging on for a time. They were hanging on. Then you, after playing again a very good second half, you go ahead. You know, at that point in time, it's 70 minutes, you've gone ahead, you've been dominating the game. Psychologically, you have an edge over the other team. So you have gone ahead, you are supposed actually to impose yourself on that other team. Because after your boy Ifungwe, Brighton was their head should have dropped. They should have known we are going to get more. You are going to concede more. But after Arsenal scored, they won mentally. They won in the 70th minute. Walishinda. Now they wakarudi dressing room. They went back to the dressing room in the 70th minute, and that's what happened. Concentration. We talked about it in the game of Man City. That concentration, conceding goals at the worst possible times. You scored a goal after struggling to break through this team. Score. What you do is you regroup. Hii team sasa itakuwa ikitafuta response. So what do? We need to hit them, probably on the counter or something of the sort. Regroup, hit them on the counter because Sabon they wana attack. But Arsenal did not do any of those things. They did not time those runs. They did not defend. They did nothing. That corner, the corner yenye mlifungwa ilikuwa, acha tuseme Sunday League. You don't consider a goal like that, honestly, from a set piece. Because it was actually a second ball. Ilikuwa second ball, by the way. Ilikuwa ball ikarudi. The guy just alinini to offside trap, and there's no one is even concerned. Akafunga bao. And from there, it always looked one way. Then the second goal, that goal was actually very painful from an Arsenal point of view. Like from my point of view, I loved it. Considering the way the defense was open, look at how Mope aliacha ball ran. Then Holding didn't even track. I could track back, tap one touch, a cheap keeper. So simple. So are not learning.
I think network yake iko na issue, but with all due respect to Nani, I think bao ya pili okay, defending was terrible, but pia ilikuwa play normal by Brighton. It was a dope move. Ilitupata hiyo nataka si bado tuko chini. Webbie. So game ya Man City left us with an injured Xhaka and Pablo Mari. Watu wenye we were thinking maybe they would be key in this, I don't know, second half or home stretch. Who do you think is best positioned to replace, or how do we handle those injuries? Jumaze, it's just terrible.
Okay, for me, I think for the defensive area, I think we should just wait for Saliba's contract with Saint Etienne to run out June 30th and then include him in the squad. And for midfield, I don't see anyone replacing Xhaka, honestly speaking, because there's no one left who can pass the ball the way he does. Maybe Ceballos, but even if Ceballos can pass that ball that way, who will hold the midfield? Now that's the key. You know, I wanted to, in fact, add on what Vincent was saying. And actually, he was saying that we went to the dressing room in the 70th minute. But he forgets that we don't even have the quality to hold on to lead. Because you see, you're supposed to be, we did the first part well. We broke their resistance. But we were not able to keep them down.
Yeah.
And we need such kind of players. And it's a mental issue. And I keep telling you, the mentality of those players was very poor. And it's always poor. You see.
How can we change that? How can that be changed? The mentality. How is it because of, is it having guys who have the mentality itself?
Exactly.
Or how?
That's the only way you fix it. And that's bringing in players who have that elite mentality. That's what Chelsea did. That's why they are a force since 2004. That's what City did. That's why they are a force since 2008. So you bring in those players. Liverpool became a force again because they started bringing in such players. Van Dijk, Fabinho, Salah, Mane. You see, Alisson. Those are the kind of players you need to bring in. You'll not win the league with Luiz and Socrates and Ozil as your senior players and Mustafi. You won't. And that's a reality we need to accept. And you see, I was reading what Gilles Grimandi had to say. And he said that the likes of Raul Sanlehi and Edu should be held responsible for the recruitment. And I agree. Because they need to explain to us how on earth they brought David Luiz in.
Yeah.
Signing I was against from the off. That's a signing I was against from the off. Yeah.
Because you look at, they brought David Luiz. Now, David Luiz, by the way, with all due respect, ile time tulikuwa tunamsign, si ati hatukuwa tunajua he does this kind of stuff that he's doing right now.
Yes.
We knew, but for some, I don't know what reason, they just decided to overlook that and just go and sign the fucking bastard. Well, we had other guys like Gary Cahill, who, okay, pia alikuwa mzee, but he doesn't have even such antics like him. If you are to say, let's go for an old guy, definitely, between the two, I don't think you would go for David Luiz. Junika hiyo time tulikuwa tuna clutch at straws kutafuta mse experience and mse cheap.
Actually, I said it in Matters Football that the veteran defender we should have gone for, the veteran Chelsea defender, was Gary Cahill. That's who we should have gone for in the first place. And second, and by the way, speaking of Chelsea, we need to stop doing business with them.
But
Because it's proving to be very detrimental to our team.
On our end. And it's like we never learn.
Yeah, we don't.
It's like we never learn. In your own opinion, who do you think in that midfield we should start thinking of having him on? Juu saa Xhaka yuko nje, tumebaki saa Ceballos, Guendouzi. Do you think we should throw in someone like Niles there, Ama? In your own opinion,
I'm going to do a comparison with the Chelsea game. You watched the Chelsea Aston Villa game. You saw the kind of work that Kante did. You know, after Chelsea went ahead 2-1, you saw the kind of dirty work Kante did. That is what. Oh, you didn't want the game. Yeah. Kante was on Grealish. You know, Grealish was one player that was going to hurt them as far if Aston Villa was going to do anything. So he was on Grealish the whole time. So he stopped Grealish and any other attack, any other player moving in. Didn't matter how he did it. Actually, he in the last 20 minutes or so, he had about 4 or 5 falls. So the kind of that kind of a player in Arsenal, I would think about a player of the kind the Torreira type. Torreira is tenacious. He's that player who's not going to let you go. He's going to hang on your boots. He's going to disarrange everything you're planning to do. So that's a player you would have there, especially if you're planning to stop attacks. Because I think that's what Arsenal did not do, stopping the attacks. So if Torreira is fit, I don't know how fit he is. That's one player you can bring in. Okay, Niles has a lot of energy and he's young. I have not seen you deploying him, or most of the time I think I see you deploying him in a left back or right back position, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, defense more than the mid.
More than midfield, and he says he prefers actually playing in midfield. I think I saw somewhere he says he prefers playing in midfield. Yeah. Though you've deployed him as a defender. So I have not seen him playing, so I can't comment much about it. Torreira would fit in. Then you can now, I don't know, what's up with Ozil?
I have no idea.
Because okay, you can do whatever you say, but right now Arsenal needs creativity. If you look at Aubameyang looks like he's frustrated. He doesn't get any balls, the balls he wants. So I think you need creativity. So Ozil would also fit in there. So you have a Torreira who is going to command that for defensive CDM position. And then the creativity through Ozil, and then maybe you can bring in Ceballos. Ceballos is a CM. He's not. He's a dependable player. I'm not going to say he's world class, but he's dependable in that position considering the options you have right now.
Yeah.
So you can have that 3-prong whereby you have Ceballos who can double up as a defender, can help out Torreira. When you're attacking, he can help out Ozil. And then you have the front three, the front three you played with, the ones you started with. You start with Saka, Pepe, and Aubameyang. That's okay. Those people can, if you have someone giving them service, I like the way Saka was running into positions. If you find someone who can look for him with his with passes, then I think you would, because the biggest problem is actually scoring goals. If you look at the two games, the biggest problem is scoring goals. Okay, fine. There's a defensive problem, but again, the goals are also not coming on the other side.
No, because there's no creativity. Indeed, there's no creativity.
Yeah.
Webbie, 2 things. One, do you think we can rely on Niles right now? Ion Dan case, we should not even consider him mid. Second of all,
no.
Martinelli. Why the hell is Martinelli not starting? And if you are to start Martinelli, by the way, in your own opinion, would you say you put him on the left wing, alafu weke Bukayo Saka as the left back? And if so, what happens to Kieran Tierney? Ama ukianza Kieran Tierney, what do you do with Bukayo Saka and Martinelli?
Okay, for Niles, at this point we have no choice. Nasikia Vin akisema story ya Torreira. Torreira, remember, is out with a fractured ankle, and he might not feature for another 3 or 4 weeks.
No, he's not fit yet.
So we have no choice. And remember, Guendouzi could be suspended for his altercation with Mopey.
Hey,
so story bado haijaisha.
Okay.
So, yeah, he could be suspended. So we might have no other choice other than to rely on Niles. Then now the second one. When it comes to the likes of Martinelli, you've had. Did you see David Ornstein reported that there is one Arsenal player who tested positive for COVID-19,
You reported
but
that?
he did not read that story.
There was
Yeah,
a story. There was a story like that.
yeah,
Leo.
One player and then two other players who were in close contact were forced to go into quarantine with them
yes.
just before the Man City game. But before the Man City game, they all tested positive, so they were cleared to play.
Yeah.
Go on, Webbie.
So,
Mm-hmm.
you see, Martinelli and Ozil, they are not playing for some reason.
Yeah.
So, and the Athletic, you know the Athletic, right?
Yes.
They uncovered a story that there are 3 players who missed training. And that is what made Arteta change his game plan on short notice against City, because he had worked on tactics to nullify City.
Mm-hmm.
So it was uncovered that there are 3 players who missed training, and they're the ones who made now Arteta and his backroom staff change their plan late.
So could it what? Could it be Ozil, Martinelli? But
Yeah, Ozil and Martinelli could be because I don't want to envisage a case where one of them has tested positive for COVID-19. So I'm envisaging that maybe they are part of that 3 who missed training, together with Niles, of course.
But why would you have them in the team sheet?
Remember, there is a tweet.
They turn negative.
They can. And you see, there is a tweet Henry Winter sent. And he said that he left Ozil out for tactical reasons. He'll handle the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So the minute you see a statement handling the situation, there is a situation. So definitely there is something going on behind the scenes as to why Martinelli and Nani are not playing in Ozil. Yeah. So anyway, and now to your third point. Saka is a winger. He's not a left back. And when you have Kolasinac and Tierney fit, they need to play in their roles. And I prefer Tierney playing that role. So Saka can start on either flank for now, so that you play, as Vin has said, Saka plays on the left, Pepe on the right, and Auba through the middle. Yes, that way Auba will not be isolated.
Yeah.
You know very well I'm not a fan of Ozil.
Yes.
But at this point in time, we have no choice.
He'll have to come in.
Yeah, he has to come in.
All right.